Supposing now to modify our environment, in this case, I want to add another room just to create a cold room area. In order to do that, we can run specify 2D and 3D walls command, and we can set the dimension of our wall and also the reference outside. So 150 millimeters of depth, 3000 millimeters, that's fine. So I can press OK button. And I can draw my wall from this corner. I move to the right, for example, 3500 millimeters. Okay, so I can move down and I want to join to that point. Okay. And after that, I can use Shift button pressed, right click to choose perpendicular. And right click to confirm. Well, now I can delete this equipment. Okay, I can select this one and we can decide to move this. So I can move from there. I can select, well, you can use snap or otherwise you can move it closer to the wall. Example over there. And we can also rotate the equipment in this way. Of course, here we have to remind that we have ties at wall. So we can select the ties and we can delete also the ties. And well, now what can I do? I can insert a hole. So coming back to specify, side fixtures command, we can call fixture command and we can choose hole. For hole, you have here a library of valuable hole, valuable shapes that you can use. We can select the first one and we can decide the dimension of our hole. For example, I want 2000 millimeters width, the height 2400. Okay, and 0 insertion height from floor level. I can click OK. The software asks for external internal point, so outside, inside, just to cut our wall. It asks me where I want to place the hole. Okay, I can select point over there along this, and we can see in 3D can also apply the shading, the realistic. So as you can see, we created our hole and we added also the additional room. Can come back to wireframe and plan view. Just to add the floor. Okay, so we can pick a point inside, choose the angle, 0 angle. Okay, and of course, if you want to move the the fixture, you have to use stretch command of AutoCAD with the right selection from right, with the selection from right to left. Okay, and you can unselect, taking the shift button pressed, you can unselect the rest of object, right click, and in this way you can move. to the right point. Well, now supposing inside this new room, I want to create a cold room. In Specifi, you can find a cold room command. And first of all, before running the cold room, we have to draw the shape. Okay, so Specifi asks for a shape. I can use draw shape, or you can use a rectangle command or polyline command. So I can draw my shape starting from there to there to there. For example, here I want to move, supposing 2000 millimeters. Okay, I want to move up till, for example, 2200. Okay, I need perpendicular, so shift button, right click, perpendicular. And then if I want to close my polyline, I have to select the close option in command line or press C, the capital letter, and enter. In this way, we have drawn our shape. Now we can run Specifi cold room command. Running the command, the software loads electronic catalog and moves directly from SP symbols. It selects the cold room. You can open also the list of accessories, okay, and you can decide which accessory you want to insert or to switch. For example, the door, I want to switch the door and to change the door. And for example, I want to insert the door with the window. I can choose select, and I can, of course, increase the quantity of door. I can select also the evaporator and the control board and the emergency button. Now, when I click add, the software analyzes the entities and it asks me for some parameters. For example, the minimum panel width, the maximum panel width, and the increment of panel step, the thickness of the panel, if you want 80 millimeters, the height of the panels must be an offset from the wall, and also if it has to create a freezer and a recessed floor, and also the ceiling inside panels. So you can configure as you prefer. When you press OK button, okay, it creates retrieving the shape, the selected shape. It permits me now to add the accessories. And for example, if you want to add the door, okay, shift button, right click and choose nearest, just to insert the door to the right position, maybe in the center here, and with rotation angle. After that, this is for the other accessory. So that's nearest. I want to put over there. Okay, and the control board. You can put here, and this security button. Okay, nearest. I can put over there. Well, in this way, we have created also our code room. And as you can see, this is a 3D object. Okay, of course, we can apply again the shadow, realistic visual style or conceptual visual style, just to see how it looks like. And here we have our code room just inserted. So starting from a bidimensional shape, a closed polyline or rectangle or with L shape, with different shape, Specifi can create and generate the code room block.